Yes, hello guys, and welcome to another video today. So it's been quite some time, but I'm just going to drop some little bit of tips for you guys. And yeah, 5 things if I was starting as an agent that I would do to make me succeed. So take a pen and paper. I just have these few tips. I'm going to go because I'm a little bit busy, but I'll be coming back to the channel. It's been long. I've not posted for quite some time now. So let's go and let me explain to you the 5 tips. If you have your pen and paper ready, let's go. So the first thing I'll be doing is I'll be looking at the top 3 elite agents in the world. Let's take, for example, George Mendes, the late Minerola, or P. Zahavi, or Jonathan Ban. Take whoever you want, and try to study their path. Try to see. Let's take, for example, if you take someone like the late Minerola, you discover that he was running a nightclub and all those, and he had language skills. So try to read a book. If you have a book about them, read about how they grow and just try to get an idea how this industry is. That's going to help you. That's the first thing. Just study how those who have made it, how they succeeded. Then the next thing I'm going to do is learn language skills. So I'm going to give you 4 languages that you should learn, because I actually have missed some few opportunities just by not speaking Portuguese. I remember one agent spoke to me from Real Madrid. He takes players to Real Madrid, so he spoke to me and he wanted us to communicate, do a deal, but due to the fact that I had to always use translation and everything like that, it was not going forward. It was not going forward that smoothly, because with language you want to speak to the people and you people flow. But because I wasn't speaking Spanish, I lost that contact and I decided to say, hey, I have to learn Spanish. So the languages I'm going to give you is, if you can learn Spanish, Portuguese, English, and French, you're going to be very, very useful in this industry, because English, most of people speak English. Spanish, you're going to get access to the South Americans, and also Portuguese, you're going to get access to the Brazilian and also the South American market. And French, you're going to get a hold of a lot of African market with also English. So with these 4 languages, you can really dominate the world. If you can add Italian and Italian there, then that's great. But those ones I told you, those are key languages that are spoken by multiple countries. Okay. So the next thing I'll be looking at, as a new agent, we often make a mistake to go and start looking for big name players. You're not going to sign those players because they don't believe in you. They're not going to work with you. So your go-to market is to sign at grassroots level. I mean, to look at grassroots level. Look at players who are quite young and who have huge potential. So what you can do is you look at players that, let me say, are local talent, hidden gems. Move out, go and scout these players, because you're going to get these players and they're going to believe in you. There you can put them, whether they're 14, 13, 16, whatsoever age they are before signing a professional contract. Put them under your agency and just let them keep playing. The more they are talented, offer them to local clubs. They're going to develop from that. You're going to get 3 or 4 or even 5 good players from there that big clubs are going to notice them. And from there, you are going to start getting sporting director ringing your phone saying that, okay, we want you to do this for us. I've used this method multiple times to get a hold of top teams, because I scout hidden gems, and in return, sporting directors now need me to do a job for them because they feel I have an eye for the business. The next one I'm going to look is you attach yourself to just a moment. You attach yourself to a top football club. What I mean by that is you look for a club that you want to really work with, go and try to watch their training session regularly. Let's say when you do that 5 or 6 times, then at one point in time you start asking few questions. Why did because when they see you there that you're just watching your training session, the moment you have a chance that someone comes close to you, because in the big teams these days, some training sessions are always open, especially in Europe. Yeah, they're always open. I'm not talking like in England, but most other countries always have training sessions open. that you can go and watch the professional team train. And what you do is when you're watching these teams, most of the time you always have probably a sporting director hanging somewhere just doing his calls and trying to see what the coaches are doing. You also have a scout just sitting there watching and seeing how the players he has scouted they are doing. So you in this when you're at these places, you often meet decision makers that you can build a relationship with them just by coming and saying, "Hi, how are you doing? Have you been here for long?" And the person might say, "No, no, no. Okay, I'm just trying to ask if you have been here for long. What do you understand what they're trying to do? Because I'm trying to learn what they are doing by training. What kind of tactics are they doing?" So when you start asking questions like this, at one point in time, you're building reputation, and then from there you go on to like ask, "But what's your name and what are you doing? Why do you always come watching training here? I've seen you a couple of times." You're going to get that person probably if it's a scout of the team say, "I brought that player here. I brought that player here. I'm trying to watch how he does." You start building a relationship. You don't need to go press the button and say you have thousands of players. Just keep going with him. At one point in time, you're going to come up with your own strategy and saying, "Okay, I've been watching this training session, but I have this player that I feel might fit this model. Take a look at this." After building your reputation with probably the scout or whosoever you have been talking with, you are going to get someone looking at that player that you're talking of. And when you're presenting your first player, make sure that it's a player that you feel can really make it, or a player that you feel is a good player. This is going to open you doors for that scout taking you to the sporting director or taking you to another person because they believe that you can do a job. So this is actually how you open doors. Then lastly, I'm going to say that stay consistent and also don't believe too much in quick quick money, because this job is a job this and to be an agent is something that you have to be consistent and persistent. But if you do these things, I'm telling you, you are going to be successful. There's no magic about that. It's just a matter of time. You're going to be successful. And when you're successful, you're going to what I say, you're going to start breaking, you're going to start opening doors for yourself without knowing. I'm going to give an example. I have contact with some clubs in Finland that just because I scouted a good player, a young player, and I carried him to some academy or I carried him to an academy. And now the sporting director had to call me and say, "Okay, I saw you brought this good player. Yes, I saw you brought this good player. I would like to get some types of players like this." So I'm on the project of looking for players more for that team. But before going, I didn't have I had no idea about I'm going to take these players. I'm going to have a contact with the sporting director of that team. So just because I did a job and they saw that the player I scouted is playing well, they offer me now their services that okay, I can be in charge of scouting players for them or being their first pick when I have a player, because the player I brought there has a potential to be like one of the best players. So you can make your way into any football club for providing value. So value is the first thing that you need to do, and from there it opens multiple doors. Another example also is I go to interview CEO sometimes in Denmark and also Norway. I've been doing that most recently. But how did I get to interviewing CEO? It's always like a process of I look at the CEO, I look at the club and see what is the value that I can provide for the CEO. These people are quite busy people. For them to invite you into having conversation or having a meeting with them, you must have offered them something that they feel they can gain from you, because you have to understand that as an agent, relationship is both ways. The more you offer value, the more the people are going to also try to get to you. But if you just feel and think like you're always going to ask for help, no one is going to listen to you, because this industry is something like offering offering value and then you get back value in return. So my advice before going is when you want to go to any before you want to go to any club, the first thing that you look at is what value can I offer to that club. If you have this mindset, you are going to be successful. There's no magic thing. And that also is going to be, I'm going to show, what's the book? I have a book that I used to read, not I used to, I read a lot just to try to develop my brain on this. The book is, just a moment, I'm going to try to find a book for you guys. Okay, I have a lot of books here, but this one, Mindset. This book is called Mindset, and these books made me believing that I can do anything. So mindset, that it makes you, it's a book that when you read, you start thinking like, okay, if you have a structure, if you have a plan to be able to be successful, you just need a structure, and then you pick the right people that you can try to contact for you to develop yourself. Let's give an example. If I want to become a successful agent, what this book is going to be teaching you, or whether it's a business person or whether you want to become a successful sporting director, what this book is going to be teaching you is you find the right people who have walked that path. So if I'm trying to be a successful agent, I have to try to look at who is it, like a judgment. Let's give an example. I try to look at his career path, or Ledmino Raiola or Jonathan Byrne, what they did, and then try to be consistent on forming my own path. Try to be consistent on doing so, because the key here is anything you do, you have to be success, you have to be consistent. You cannot wake up after, let's say, 3 days and you do something and you leave. You're never going to be successful. But if you have a plan, thinking that, okay, I want to become a successful agent and then I'm going to become successful agent, you have to be consistent, picking your right strategy. Let's take, for example, if you're scouting youth players, that you want to start with young players, go for young players, look hidden gems. There you are going to have your breakthrough moment with just player, and at one point in time, you're not going to believe your luck. People are going to start running behind you and saying that, okay, bring me this young player, I need this kind of young players. Just by perfecting the strategy, I've spoken to a lot of elite agents that I actually myself have been shocked. I spoken to, I don't want to name names here, but I've spoken to a lot of elite agents that sit and that sometimes I pinch myself. I say, really, is this real? But it's just because I also provide value. So it's almost like a give and take relationship. Before an elite agent try to reach out to you, or write you on LinkedIn, write you on Instagram, write you on YouTube, whatsoever place they may write you, they have seen value in what you're providing and they want to be in contact with you. But if you don't provide value, and then anytime you want to only ask, can you help me with this? Can you help me with this? No one actually is going to respond to you, because you're always going to be like a burden to people. So to end up here is my advice to young agents, because I know the exam also is coming up this year. Some people have already been contacting me that I should try to give them, teach them. Well, the course I'm going to provide the course as I did last year. But what I'll be telling you is focus. And when you get your license, because you're going to get your license at one point in time, if you want to be successful in this industry, you need patience and all the things that I've mentioned: patience, focus, pick your target. If you want to start going for young players, which I will advise you, because when you're young, when you're still new, you're never going to sign Ronaldo, you're never going to sign those big names, because they don't believe in you. No one knows your name. So you start with these hidden gems players, let me say local players from your city, wherever you live in the world, because football is everywhere. Start scouting those local players. And when you start scouting them, then you start making your move, going to local clubs and presenting them to those local clubs. Gradually, it will take like 1, 2 to 3 years. You will be at a level that you start working with the top clubs. It needs time, it needs a strategy and time. Then you need to also start growing your brain by believing in yourself, like reading books like this, mindset, shifting your focus that anything is achievable as long as you have a plan and a strategy. Okay, that's my message for you guys today. It's been very long. I came on YouTube here, not because I don't want to offer you guys content on this. It's just because I do a lot of things. I'm going to try to find way to always give you guys some useful information, especially now that the exam is coming on and people are trying to, a lot of people are contacting me that they have seen my YouTube videos that I was creating months ago. They would like to join the course. I'm going to try to start providing those YouTube tips course about passing the exam. And a lot of you, also credit to a lot of you guys who passed the exam. It was also very nice to get a feeling for some of you guys writing me that, okay, thanks to the YouTube videos I used to do and the tips I gave, they actually passed the exam. So it was great feeling to hear that. But hopefully you guys are also progressing with your agent journey, because this job is very rewarding if you are successful. Believe me. I'm just going to give an example. I was in Denmark. I think it's December 9 to December 16 to interview CEO of some clubs. And I was inside the car taking my notes and doing the rest, the basic things. And I was feeling like, oh my God, what a rewarding job. You have to travel around just to watch players or interview CEOs. Then you get money out of it. And then you scout player. So if you think of it, just you sitting in the stadium taking notes, scouting players, and you're getting paid for that. It's almost like you do what you enjoy. Let me say, so you're being paid for your hobby, if I can put it that way. Of course, it's not a hobby, this is your profession, but you understand what I mean. You're being paid to do this kind of things, this kind of job. Not so many people in the world are being paid to do this kind of, let me say, something they love. So if you are trying to be an agent, work hard for it, because when it pays, when you succeed, it's going to be very rewarding. You're going to travel around the world, especially when you have developed your players and they are playing elite level. You're going to travel from, let's take for example, from Juventus to whatsoever team your player is playing, just to watch the game, and then you take your flight, you go to your hotel, you go back to the next game, watch the next game, the next player, your next player. So it's that kind of thing. I started getting that kind of feeling when I was in Denmark, and even when I traveled to Norway to speak to a club called Valeranga, because I was going there to see a lot of the coaches and also see how they are operating, because I was invited there. It was quite nice feeling. It was quite nice feeling to feel that, oh, this is where I want to belong. You start to get that sense when you're entering these big clubs. You start to feel like, oh, this is where I want to really belong. Just coming here, seeing how professionals train, seeing how the environment. From there, I left. Also, I went to team Stabæk. Stabæk is also a team in Norway, and spoke with the decision makers there. So you get this feeling when you're out of your own country, because I live in Finland, but you start getting this feeling that, oh my God, this is the kind of job I want to do. Just flying around, watching players and being paid, scouting for teams and negotiating players, bringing to my agency. So for you agents who are trying to write the exam, work hard, because once you succeed, it's the best feeling. Okay. So I've taken more of your time. I don't know if I'm going to come back tomorrow, but another time. But hopefully, I do come back to help you guys. And if you are an agent trying to write an exam, write the FIFA agent exam, leave me always a message, and I'll try to reply, because I see most of your messages. And also, thanks for your time. Take care, and guys, have a nice one. Cheers.